Ishtar is likely the most famous goddess of ancient Mesopotamia, known to us through the Epic of Gilgamesh, the hymns of Enheduanna, and countless other mentions in the ancient records. But who was she, and why does she matter? The really short answer is that she was the goddess of love and war, and one of the most widely revered individuals in the ancient world. But there is a little more nuance to the story. In the 4th millennium BC, the people of Uruk became the first known to worship a goddess named Inanna. She is represented on this famous vase through these two reed bundles behind the priestess, and is likely represented by this sculpted head, known as the Lady of Warka. However, her influence would extend far beyond Uruk, as temples were dedicated to her at Kish, Lagash, Nippur, Zabalam, and Ur. Around the turn of the 24th century, Sargon of Akkad conquered most of Mesopotamia, founding the Akkadian Empire, and with it, Ishtar emerged as a critical deity in the region. Ishtar was Akkadian, and Inanna was Sumerian, but through the strong cultural contact of this period, they would become one, Inanna being her Sumerian name, and Ishtar her Akkadian one. Following the collapse of Sargon's empire, Inanna would retain importance in the ideology of the resurgent state of Ur. Particularly interesting is her role in the sacred marriage with the king, which has been a matter of controversy for some time now. Over the next 1,000 years, she retained a position of great import to people from Babylon to Syria. She is even seen through the name Astarte in the Levant. Though we have a tendency to think of Ishtar as one goddess, she became many things to many people, and quite a few goddesses assumed the name Ishtar. During the time of the Assyrian Empire, the famous Ashurbanipal recited a prayer to two different Ishtars, Ishtar of Arbela and Ishtar of Nineveh. Quote, "Exalt and extol the Lady of Nineveh, honor and praise the Lady of Erbil. None equal them among the great gods. All the goddesses cherish their name. Their two sanctuaries are unsurpassed, as are their shrines. Words shine on their lips like holy fire. Their speech will be revered forever." End quote. These goddesses were distinct personalities, each worthy of individual worship. In addition, Assyrian Ishtar was worshipped separately, and the god Ashur's consort, Mulisu, was conflated with Ishtar of Nineveh starting in the 7th century. Fundamentally, Ishtar was the goddess of love and war, but this is just a broad distinction. Her identity was extremely complex depending on the motivations and situation of the scribe who extolled her. Simple categorizations will not do for such a dynamic and pervasive deity. Sometimes she was a fierce warrior goddess. Others, she was the tender mother of the king, or even the sexual partner of the king. After the fall of the Assyrian Empire, her status was greatly diminished, though small groups still revered her until some time after Alexander the Great swept across the Near East. Like most gods, she faded into obscurity as the power structures that promoted her crumbled. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe or like the video, and keep an eye out for my upcoming video on the great conquests of Tiglath-Pileser against the Levant.